Ever wondered why Denmark, not a huge country, boasts one of the most vibrant beer cultures in the world? From cozy Hygge moments to world-famous beer festivals, this video uncovers the secrets behind the strength of Danish beer culture. Stay tuned. You're about to dive into history, innovation, and community in every sip. But here's the problem. Most people visiting Denmark only know Carlsberg and Tuborg. They miss the centuries of history, the hidden microbreweries, and even the national traditions like J-Day. Without knowing this, it's easy to think Danish beer is just another lager, when in reality it's one of the richest beer cultures in Europe. In this video, I'll show you why skipping this story means missing a huge part of understanding Denmark itself. Sustainability and green energy. Viking heritage. Welfare system. New Nordic food. Welcome to Denmark Explained, your front row seat to the hidden gems, quirky traditions, and powerful stories that make Danish culture truly unforgettable. Beer in Denmark isn't just a drink, it's a story, centuries in the making. Did you know that brewing in this part of the world goes back over 3,000 years? Early recipes weren't hops-heavy lagers like we know today. They included wild ingredients like honey, berries, and herbs. Imagine ancient people carefully crafting a beverage that would later influence a nation's culture. By the Middle Ages, hops had become central to brewing, largely thanks to monastery traditions. Monks weren't just spiritual guides, they were also expert brewers, preserving recipes and experimenting with flavors. Even kings got involved, encouraging local hops cultivation to avoid relying on imports from neighboring countries. That push for local ingredients might seem small, but it laid the foundation for Denmark's self-sufficient beer culture. And here's a surprising twist. By the late 1600s, the capital city alone had over 100 breweries. Picture the streets filled with taverns and small-scale brewers, each crafting their own ales, top-fermented and full of character. This wasn't just about drinking, it was about community, identity, and pride in local craft. Then came a game-changer, the introduction of bottom-fermenting lager yeast in the mid-1800s. One forward-thinking brewer brought this innovation home after a trip abroad. Suddenly, consistent, crisp lagers were possible. This breakthrough didn't just transform one brewery, it influenced the global beer landscape. Today, this style remains the backbone of modern Danish beer culture, defining what people reach for in bars and homes alike. Look at the numbers, and the story becomes even clearer. Denmark still ranks among the top countries in per capita beer consumption. But this isn't just about statistics. It reflects a culture where beer is part of everyday life, intertwined with meals, celebrations, and social rituals. Every pint carries echoes of history, ancient recipes, monastic innovations, royal mandates, and revolutionary brewing techniques. So next time you see a Danish-style lager on the shelf, pause for a moment. You're not just holding a drink, you're holding centuries of craft, community, and national pride. And this is just the beginning. In the next chapter, we'll explore how modern breweries are reinventing beer with bold flavors, global recognition, and a sprinkle of that famous social warmth. Speaking of traditions, wait till you hear how modern Danish beer blends innovation, festivals, and that special Danish social glue, Hygge. Beer in Denmark is not just something you drink, it's a way of connecting with others. From family gatherings to festivals, beer is often at the center of social life. What makes this so fascinating is how early people are introduced to it. Unlike many other countries, the drinking age for beer and wine is lower, which means that social drinking is something young people experience sooner. But here's the interesting part, it doesn't create the problems you might expect. Instead, it builds a culture where moderation and responsibility are learned naturally. Later, we'll talk about how this early introduction has shaped healthier social habits compared to other nations. One of the most striking things about Danish beer culture is how it creates togetherness. When friends meet at a bar or when families gather during holidays, beer is part of the moment. The act of raising a glass is more than just drinking, it's a ritual of unity. And when you hear the toast, it's not just a word, it's a sign of respect, a way of looking someone in the eyes and sharing a bond. This tradition is so strong that it continues across generations. Think about it. How many cultures use a simple drink to strengthen community ties in such a meaningful way? Consumption numbers also reveal the importance of beer. On average, people here drink around 80 liters of beer each year. That's significantly higher than many other countries, showing how deeply beer is woven into everyday life. But it's not about excess, It's about tradition, moderation, and belonging. You'll find that beer isn't only consumed in bars. It's common at picnics, during sports events, and even at small family dinners. Later, we'll explore how this variety of settings keeps beer from becoming just a party drink. It's part of daily culture. Another fascinating element is the role of festivals and clubs. Denmark hosts numerous beer festivals each year, some of which attract tens of thousands of visitors. These events are more than tastings, they're celebrations of culture. People don't just try different beers, they share stories, meet new friends, and take part in a living tradition. In addition, local beer clubs are thriving, where enthusiasts meet monthly to discuss new flavors and brewing techniques. You might be surprised to learn how many Danes brew their own beer at home, turning it into both a hobby and a social activity. So when you look at beer in Denmark, you see more than just a beverage. You see a social glue, something that ties people together, creates memories, and sustains traditions. Later, we'll connect this social role to the booming craft beer scene and see how innovation is shaping the future of these gatherings. I've given you two powerful reasons: deep historical roots and modern innovation tied to social and sustainable values. Which inspires you most about Danish beer culture? Its rich legacy or B, its fresh, forward-thinking spirit? Planning a trip to Denmark? Or maybe you're moving there soon? Don't just Google your way through it. Let DenmarkExplained.com be your shortcut to a smoother, smarter, and way more fun experience. At DenmarkExplained.com/products, you'll find itineraries, ready-made plans that turn confusion into unforgettable days. eBooks, packed with local insights, cultural tips, and everyday know-how. No boring history lessons, just stuff that actually helps. Expat guides, moving to Denmark? Get the info you wish someone told you before you landed. Everything's digital, everything's simple, and everything's designed to make Denmark feel less confusing, and way more cozy. So skip the stress, and get the guides that explain Denmark, clearly, cleverly, and in plain English. Check it out now at denmarkexplained.com/products. Your trip, our tips, let's make it amazing. If you're enjoying these insights, smash that like button, subscribe for more cultural deep dives, and share with someone curious about relocating to Denmark. Or comment below. Deep roots or modern innovation? Which part of Danish beer culture speaks to you? Hold that thought. Let's circle back to Hygge and the unexpected role beer has even played in Danish art. When we think about Danish beer, it's impossible to ignore the impressive brewing industry that has shaped the country's reputation worldwide. Denmark is home to over 350 breweries, ranging from massive, internationally recognized companies to small craft breweries that produce just a few thousand liters a year. These breweries are not just businesses, they are a reflection of centuries of tradition meeting modern innovation. You might be surprised to know that some of the oldest breweries in Denmark were founded in the 19th century, setting the stage for a global beer legacy. Later, we'll explore how these historical roots connect to today's craft beer boom. Large-scale breweries, which many people have heard of, produce billions of liters annually, not just for local consumption but for export to over 150 countries. This means that a piece of Danish beer culture is reaching people all over the world every single day. Yet, what's fascinating is how the industry has also embraced small-scale innovation. The number of microbreweries has grown by more than 200% in the last 15 years alone. These smaller breweries often experiment with flavors, seasonal batches, and unique brewing techniques, and they play a crucial role in keeping Denmark's beer culture vibrant and evolving. We'll get back to some of these unique flavors in a few minutes, which might even inspire your next trip here. Innovation isn't just about taste. Modern breweries are also leading in sustainability. Advanced brewing technology now allows for water usage reductions of up to 40%, and energy-efficient processes are becoming standard. So, every sip of beer isn't just a taste experience, it's a small contribution to environmental responsibility. Beyond production, the brewing industry also significantly impacts the economy and tourism. It employs tens of thousands of people, from production teams to distribution and hospitality staff. Brewery tours have become a popular attraction, with hundreds of thousands of visitors exploring brewing processes, tasting events, and historical exhibits every year. And it's not just tourists, international beer competitions regularly recognize Danish beers, earning over 50 global medals in the past decade. So, the next time you enjoy a Danish beer, remember it's more than a drink. It's centuries of history, innovation, sustainability, and cultural pride in every glass. Later, we'll look at how these breweries shape social life, from casual gatherings to large festivals. Before we wrap up, remember that concept of hygge and community? Let's close with how Danish cultural norms shape attitudes, and why Danes truly drink beer without shame. When most people think of Denmark, they might imagine beautiful streets, modern architecture, or cozy cafes. But one thing that consistently surprises visitors is the country's vibrant beer culture and how it draws tourists from all over the world. Every year, more than 500,000 people visit Denmark's major breweries, eager to explore both the history and the modern innovation behind their favorite drinks. And it's not just the large-scale breweries, small craft breweries have also become a major attraction, hosting tastings, workshops, and personalized tours. We'll get back to some of these unique craft experiences in just a moment. Beer festivals are another big part of the picture. Denmark hosts over 20 major beer festivals annually, some of which attract up to 50,000 visitors each. These events aren't just for locals, they're international gatherings that celebrate everything from traditional lagers to experimental craft beers. Imagine walking through streets filled with tasting stations, live music, and beer enthusiasts from all corners of the globe. Later, I'll share a few festivals that are considered absolute must-visits for anyone traveling here. The economic impact of beer tourism is impressive. Beer-related travel contributes more than 1 billion DKK to the Danish economy every year. That includes spending on tours, festival tickets, accommodations, and even souvenirs. So, every beer festival or brewery visit isn't just a fun day out, it's a significant boost to local communities. And Denmark's beers aren't just popular at home. International competitions have recognized Danish breweries with over 50 medals in the past decade, helping to put the country on the global beer map. This recognition has also driven a 15% increase in beer exports over the past 5 years, showing that Danish beer is appreciated far beyond its borders. But what really makes these beers special isn't just the awards, it's the blend of tradition, innovation, and cultural pride that comes through in every sip. Many tourism experiences now combine city sightseeing with brewery visits, highlighting beer as a cultural cornerstone rather than just a beverage. Visitors can learn about brewing processes, try seasonal or experimental beers, and even participate in hands-on workshops. For anyone planning a trip, these experiences are often among the most memorable, and they give a deeper understanding of Denmark's social and cultural fabric. So next time you plan a visit, consider making beer part of your journey. From festivals to craft tastings, every glass tells a story of tradition, innovation, and community. Later, we'll explore some insider tips on how to experience this culture like a local, not just a tourist. Thanks for watching. If you're thirsty for more on Denmark, whether history, culture, or lifestyle, click on the playlist to your right. See you in the next video.